Welcome to the Soul Health Mentor podcast with Nadia Kraus. Learn how to move your awareness out of your mind and into your heart so you can embody your divinity, experience joyous peace of mind, and create your most vibrant life by opening to receive your soul's sacred medicine.
Hello, beautiful soul. Hello, strong heart. Hey, brilliant listener. Welcome back to Soul Health Mentor Podcast. I am so looking forward to sharing my message for all the goddess warriors out there with you. This one feels like a biggie. It really feels like such a big one. It entails all I have discovered, uncovered, ignited, applied, and harnessed over the last 11 years when I had my spiritual awakening. And I first want to talk to you about my definition of spiritual awakening. So in the times we live in, my definition of spiritual awakening is that you are waking up to your divine potential. You are feeling there's so much in you. There's gifts in you. There's things that want to be lived, created, birthed through you. And you want to be of service. But your life resembles nothing in that regard. You're maybe in a job that you don't enjoy, or you've tried many things and you haven't managed to ground the dream your soul has for you, because that's what divine potential is. That is your divine potential. That's the dream your soul has for you. And grounding it is literally pulling heaven onto earth. And I know that back in 2011, I found myself miserable. I was hitting rock bottom. It actually started in 2010 already. It was a long process of hitting rock bottom and having no place to turn, having to surrender because I tried everything. I tried everything in my power, everything possible to me within my scope at the time in Germany to ignite my soul desire and manifest my heart's wishes through my soul's gift. That's always what I've wanted. At age 18, at age 24, at age 30, at age 35, and today at age 47. This has never changed. I have always strongly heard the dream my soul has for me. I had all this potential inside of me and didn't know how to get it out. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But let's just talk about what a goddess warrior is. So goddess is the feminine energy. Warrior is the masculine energy. So you could also view it as the divine union between the sacred masculine and the divine feminine, between the divine feminine and the sacred masculine. There's a marriage. There's a marriage between the two. And the first time I was made aware of the fact that my feminine energy and masculine energy weren't balanced was back in 2006. So I already told you that my rock bottom spiritual awakening wake up call happened 2010, 2011. And in 2006, I was still hustling hard. I was hustling hard to try to manifest all this potential I was feeling through a business. That's always been my path. I've always wanted to serve from my soul's gift through a business. The first business I created was at age 24, Fitness for Body and Soul. After that, I went into freelancing and I wanted to be a wellness trainer, a wellness coach, because I wanted to do transformational work. I didn't just want to be an instructor standing in front of people doing aerobics or mind-body fitness classes, whatever I did back then. I wanted more. I wanted transformation. And I worked as a Weight Watchers coach, a dance instructor, a personal trainer, everything on a freelance basis, because all those things actually do entail transformation. To transform your body, something has to change on a deeper level. Behavioral change isn't easy. If it was easy, everybody would be embodying their divinity and feeling joy and peace of mind, creating their vibrant life, and knowing how to apply their soul's medicine. Because that's what your soul's medicine helps you with. It helps you with your personal transformation. So back in 2006, I was hustling hard and I had already burnt out once. So my first business, after 3 years, I was burnt out. I was 40 pounds heavier and I was experiencing symptoms of metabolic syndrome on my way to diabetes 2. That's how I got into health coaching and wellness coaching. Not only did I want to offer transformation, I had to learn how to take my own medicine and walk my own talk. I had to learn what had happened. How was it possible that I was teaching 20 fitness classes a week and I gained 40 pounds? Developed, a symptom on my way to a disease? How was that possible? So that was my first transformation on a really, really deep level. And a transformation on a really deep level is also an initiation. It's an initiation by your soul to wake you up to your potential, to have you realize that you're so much more than you believe. And after I got my wellness and health coaching degree, I wanted to work with people. And again, it was really, really hard for me to ground this body and soul aspect, this divine aspect that I've always wanted. It was always either or. It never seemed to be and. It never seemed to be body and soul, masculine and feminine. It never entailed the wholeness that I was craving. So I did the freelancing for a while, and I did it as long as I could until my body hit rock bottom again. And this time I burned out hard. It was a different kind of burnout. It was the kind of burnout where I didn't gain the weight back. And I never had the symptoms again after losing the weight and healing my metabolic syndrome because I was educated and I knew what had happened. So I never was diagnosed as a diabetic because I self-healed through my own personal growth and transformation. But this time around, my back was caving in. And when your back caves in, you can't stand upright. And when you can't stand upright, you can't go to work. You can't work. So this was big, 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 not good. And I literally had to file for bankruptcy in Germany because I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do it, even though my mind wanted to. My body was telling me, nope, not happening. And sometimes when we hustle hard and we don't stop, slow down, and breathe to open ourselves up to listen to our soul, we're just on an ego trip, basically. And I was on an ego trip. And when my soul can't get my attention through the whispers, my soul is going to get my attention through dis-ease, through my body breaking down, quite literally, me not being able to work. And that had harsh consequences. And the consequence was that I had to file for bankruptcy and figure out where to go from here. Then 2010, my marriage in a really bad place. When true love was about to die, that's where I found myself. And not February. It was December 2010. My husband and I made a decision. We weren't going to allow true love, our love, to die. So we made a big decision in February of 2011. That was the decision to go work and live on a cruise ship, to sell everything we own in pursuit of our happiness, in pursuit of our soul health, in pursuit of our joy, our peace of mind, our vibrant life. What we didn't know is that the day we left, literally, you can't make this stuff up. It was the day that the company that we started working for, the cruise ship company, had booked our tickets to leave Germany. It was 11, 11, 11. And at the time, I thought, wow, amazing, auspicious. And of course, it was auspicious. But what I didn't know, I only knew 11 years later, is that we had just traveled through the Scorpio gate and portal. And the archetype of Scorpio, the zodiac sign of Scorpio, stands for death, rebirth, and transformation. And sometimes when we are on an ego trip, because we're conditioned that way, so this is not me blaming anybody for being on an ego trip. Hello, I was on an ego trip for a long, long time because my soul was calling me to the table, but my mind was conditioned, and I was wanting to prove myself in the world, to prove my worth. I felt intrinsically worthless. I felt intrinsically not enough, but I didn't know why. Intellectually, I knew that love and worth can only be found from within. But I didn't know how to tap into it. I didn't know that there was this core wound that needed healing. This very, very old self-image that I brought into this life from past lives, from a lineage, a maternal lineage, a paternal lineage, so much history. This old self-image needed to die so I could be reborn and my life could be transformed. Can you see why I feel this is a big episode for me? Because I'm literally understanding today, just a day after the new moon in Pisces 2023, am I understanding what I have just undergone in pursuit of honoring my soul's gift. So my message today for women is that there is absolutely no need to stay frazzled, frustrated, and overwhelmed, because I know I was frazzled, frustrated, and overwhelmed. I didn't know where to turn to. I am here today to let you know that there are tools and resources and gifts that can support you on your path. It doesn't have to take you 11 years like it took me trying to figure this stuff out. So know this, there's always a way back to crystal clear, joyous, organized, and energetically healthy, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically healthy. There's always a way back to that. That is what soul health is. And at the end of the day, soul health is a work of heart, specifically your heart. because it is the power of your heart, which is love, that is going to keep you going when the going gets tough. It's not willpower that gets you there. It is not willpower that has helped me manifest the dream my soul has and had for me. My divine potential wasn't to be willed into this world by sheer force and by hustle and by pushing. Not at all. It was birthed into this world by following my joy, because embodying my divinity, sharing my soul's gift with the world, with you, the listener, with my clients, with the members of my membership program, with my Facebook followers, it doesn't matter, with the people that I meet out there in the world, analog, not just virtually. That gives me so much joy. Speaking to you right now, it gives me so much joy. And that joy comes from my heart, not from my mind. I can't will joy. My mind is something that tells me the reasons I can't be happy. That's monkey mind. My mind complains a lot. But my heart emanates joy for the last 11 years. My heart emanates so much gratitude, so much awe, so much inspiration that I am here today talking to you in this way. This has been my dream for the longest time. 2007, I took a picture. I had a picture taken of myself with a microphone in my hand because I dreamed of sharing my wisdom, sharing what I knew intrinsically, because it's birthed through me. It's my soul's gift. It's my divine embodiment on this earth. It's me dropping from my head into my heart. It is me following my joy to embrace peace of mind and creating my vibrant life. That was a dream. And if you want to see that picture, go visit soulhealthmentor.com. And it's the very first slide. It's the very first picture in the slideshow. That was me back in 2007, and today I'm here speaking to you. So my unshakable voice is that no woman should ever feel drained, strained, or running on empty, because I know that I felt drained, strained, and running on empty, trying so desperately to prove myself to the world. And that love and that worth that I was hustling for so hard on the outside world wasn't to be found there. It could only be found in my inner world. So no woman should ever feel like she does not have choices that she can make and opportunities that she can seize that will change the trajectory of her life. I can tell you this because I walked the talk. I took the medicine. And today, something better is my catchphrase. I don't ask anyone to give up something unless I have something better to offer them. I firmly believe not just in denying ourselves things, no, recognizing the negative pattern and replacing it with a positive pattern. That is the something better as my catchphrase. So I discover women and men in discovering their something better based on their soul's gift, based on their divine potential. And I help them create a personalized plan. You could also call it bespoke, custom made, back to ease, back to grace, back to soul health through their heart, so that they can really experience the transformation from pause to play to deeply nourishing flow. Because in deeply nourishing flow, you can build the life you, as a woman or man, or transgender, it doesn't matter, require, desire, and deserve. Feminine energy and masculine energy live in all of us. So these energies aren't the man and the woman in the body. It transcends that. It's both. And a man in touch with his feminine side is a man in touch with his intuition, a man in touch with his gifts. And even a man in touch with his gifts and intuition can birth things. Doesn't matter that a man in physicality doesn't have a womb. The womb of creation is an energy, and we all have access to it. And a woman that has access to her masculine side is a woman that can stand firmly and strongly in her boundaries. It's a woman who fiercely protects her time, energy, money, resources, truth, whatever it may be. It's a woman that knows she always has her own back, because that is the fierce energy of the masculine. And a woman dancing in her feminine energy, her gifts, her intuition, backed by her masculine strength of firm, sacred boundaries and a very, very clear voice to say no and yes exactly when she means it. That's a very powerful woman. So remember, a year from now, you wish you would have started today. Don't wait another year to embrace your beautiful goddess warrior self. Remember, soul health is a work of heart, specifically your heart. Drop out of your head and into your heart. What is your heart telling you? What has your heart been whispering for such a long time? What have you been ignoring? Your soul is trying to get your attention. Don't procrastinate. A year from now, you wish you would have started today. So just start. Whatever it may be, just start. This is my unshakable message for women, but also for men. Specifically women, because I had a mother that was fiercely, fiercely loving and strong. She would get up over and over and over again. She didn't have an easy life. We didn't always have a good relationship. If you've bought my book, The Magic of Transformation, Igniting and Manifesting Soul Desires, then you might have read the chapter. It's chapter 10 or 11, I can't remember now. But it's the chapter that I called A Mother's Love and a Daughter's Healing. And my mom and I healed the lineage, the thing that I talked about at the very beginning of this podcast, this very old negative looping karma, this very old story. We healed it together by healing the mother wound and healing the lineage. So I talk to women because I experienced my mom so fiercely strong and beautiful and always believing that there's gifts. She could feel that divine potential. She could feel that there was so much more to her than her life. But she was never able to ground it in a way where she could use her soul's gift to make money. And my mom found herself very disempowered at the end of her life, financially disempowered, which made her life shorter than I believe it would have been would she have stood in her full power. And that's why this message is so important for women. There is no need to stay frazzled, frustrated, and overwhelmed, but there's always a way back to crystal clear, joyous, organized, and energetically healthy on all levels, in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, in your finances, every single level. No woman should ever feel like she's drained, strained, or running on empty and not getting her needs met. That's why I so fiercely stand for that message. And I wanted to invite you to not only have a look at soulhealthmentor.com, the show notes blog, you will find the top left button. Have a look at the show notes. I'm sharing with you a few resources. The first resource is that I'm actually activating self-love leadership all throughout the year, and I've created a timeline for it. So if you want to see the themes of each month, then you can go there. We are currently in the theme of building our bodies strong, and I will create another podcast about that. And I just wanted to let you know that I've launched an Empowered Goddess Temple membership, which is all about the cause of sacred self-care, the Goddess way, and creating everything you desire, require, and deserve. Thank you so much for being here. Until next time, bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Soul Health Mentor podcast with Nadia Kraus. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review at Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts are playing.